love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be, and welcome to another evening of ESL Challenger League Season 46. I, of course, am Wolfie, and as per usual, bringing the action alongside is Dean for what should be a handful of really interesting matchups tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the matchup we have here in our own stream, I think, on paper was poised to be an incredible matchup. There's been some last-minute changes that definitely make it a bit more of a wild card match than maybe we were expecting, but there should still be some entertainment, definitely, to be had. Whether it'll be quite as competitive as the matchup we had last night with Apex and Aurora, where we only got 2 maps, but we ended up with a triple OT and everything on that second map, I'm not too sure. I do think we have a bit more of a favourite coming forward, but yeah, we're getting on with the groups. Things are starting to shape up here as well, and moving on towards Group D, I believe, today. We actually have the top 2 teams against each other here.
Yeah, an intriguing matchup. It's one of those ones, again, unfortunately, where with the way the groups have panned out, it's not going to make a massive difference in the grand scheme of things how this exact matchup goes. But as you said, a little bit of a mystery and intrigue, but we'll leave that to the side for now. We will touch on that in just a couple of moments. But first, we got the groups to take a look at. Like you said, we're over in Group D, and Group D is one of those groups where, unfortunately, things have just been a little too simple. I think it's safe to say for some of the top teams. 1 win, currently 4-0, realistically uncatchable by anyone underneath them. 9 currently 3-1. If they get this, then uncatchable. Even if they don't, it's Batera with a -27 round difference who'll be looking for it. And they lost in the head-to-head. So realistically, no matter how you cut it, it should be 1 win and 9 coming out of this group. But it's a good matchup, top of the group, right? Top 2 teams. Let's see where they're at. Let's see what they're up to.
Yeah, got to agree with that one. I do believe the Group B actually changed around a little bit. I don't know. Is that correct? Aurora, there's no way they jumped up to the top of Group B off of the matchup last night.
Oh, this isn't in order. This is in no order.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was curious for a moment there.
Yeah, ignore. The order is not accurate.
I thought they got the turret or something off of their performance last night, which was pretty decent, but I give them that. But yeah, that one was throwing me off a small bit. I do believe we're ready to have a quick look at the format and see exactly what these teams are competing for, looking to move in towards that. Do believe we're calling it the higher bracket, the middle bracket, and the lower bracket. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone is going home in this initial stage. It's all about fighting for that seeding.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, this confuses the hell out of me. There is a lot going on your screens right now. The way, sort of the layman's explanation, as I understand it, is the groups are groups of 6. They're split into 3. Top 2, middle 2, bottom 2. Top 2 go to the high group. Middle 2 go to the middle group. Bottom 2 go to the low group. That's fairly logical, fairly simple. Then you get over to group stage 2, which is on the right-hand side of the screen there. And we start to get into the high, the mid group, and the low group. And obviously, they try and reflect, how well the team's played. So there's higher placings in the high group. The mid group mostly occupied by teams staying in ECL. The bottom group going into the relegation. It's all a bit technical. We'll get there when we get there. We're still in the easy stage right now, and this is the schedule that we've got for tonight. Spirit going up against Saw over on the A stream. So if you're interested in seeing that one and seeing a little bit of Donk Magic, because he really has been pulling it off recently, then you know where to go. For us, we've got 9 against 1 win, which, as Dean alluded to before we started this stream, it was a very tantalising matchup on paper. It was the top 2 from the group. It was a 9 who've lost their way a little bit of late, and the form has sort of betrayed them. Their home map has become an enemy in and of itself, versus a 1 win who've been on the rise consistently for a very, very long time. But recently, Hooch has gone. They've lost that coach behind them. So how does that impact? How does Boomblitz's calling change? But as we go and look at the teams, it all got a little sketchy this morning. 9 announced, and I think it's fair enough, they needed a change. So they've announced that Minio is gone. The in-game leader is out. And they announced that about lunchtime UK time today. So they really haven't had time to do anything, to find a new player, to announce a replacement. So as far as we're aware, as far as the information we've been given says, they're going to be playing with their coach Norot tonight, which is a little unfortunate. I mean, he is stepping into the in-game leading role, which arguably is potentially where you'd want to have a coach step in if you had to have that happen. But it does reduce the firepower. It does make this 9 roster a little sketchy, and it does start to tip the odds in the favor of 1win.
Yeah, I mean, I think already I would have been looking at 1win as the slight favourites just based on that those recent performances that they've had. Having a look, they've actually won their last 16 best of threes with only a single best of one thrown in there, where they lost out to a Bulgarian team, Chosen Few, which, I mean, yeah, there's some recognizable names on there such as Spellin and Sheik, but overall that's a very surprising loss for them to have taken in the middle of what has been an incredible run. So for me, I've got to look at 1win as the favourites, but as you said, the fact that Norot is coming in, he's going to be that in-game leader. They might be taking some different approaches. I mean, even though he is the coach, he'd have the same strategies. Mid-round calls, etc., they could be different. They could catch potentially 1win off guard, and there's always the potential, if the individuals especially are performing, that they could steal this one away. But map pool wise as well, it does definitely lean a little bit towards 1win.
Yeah, it's a tough old place for 9 to be at the minute, right? I kind of spoke about it earlier. They have been on a bit of a downward trajectory recently. Vertigo, very much a home map for them, always has been. Stats gone completely awry, losing more often than not of late. It's really not somewhere they're as comfortable as they used to be. And when you lose that home map and you lose that home capability, it makes life difficult, because you look at this veto here, the permabans go early, 1win incredibly comfortable on Nuke. You've got Boomich calling, I mean, Boomich, we know what he can call, he's been on Na'Vi, for heaven's sake. You've got an incredibly talented roster of individuals who can pull out magic. You go to Vertigo and you're going to go, right, this is 9's map, we want to see good numbers, good stats. And then you look at how it's played out recently, and you're looking at losses to Apex, Big, Movi, Big again, Eternal Fire in CSGO. It's not a happy place for them. They haven't actually, as far as I can see, won an official in CS2 on it, whereas previously it was the map that they always went to. Then you get into the late stage bans, Overpass goes out, sure thing, Ancient goes out, sure thing, and we end up with Mirage as a finisher. Again, the numbers lean 1win's way, and it's also a very puggy map. I think it plays perfectly into the likes of Deco, the likes of Travis. I mean, you can even throw Forrester up there these days as individuals who will take over a map and take over a server. So, like you said, it's a very tough hill for 9 to climb right now. I think realistically, you look at that extra firepower that 1win have, you look at the fact the in-game leader's gone out, it should be 1win getting the job done. But as much as we always say that, 9 have had the potential. We've seen it before. We've seen it time and again. They have the individuals to make it happen. It's just a matter of, in this new game, in this new reality, how does Hades click on the AWP? How do the riflers click into the new servers? We're just going to have to wait and see. And we are going to have to wait a little bit longer, unfortunately. Sometimes the players like to take the sweet time getting into these servers. So we're going to throw it to a very, very quick break. And when we're back, we'll have map 1. All right, starting things off on Nuke with one win in a match that they are going to be feeling incredibly comfortable coming into. 9. Well, they've played it once. It was a few months ago. It wasn't even in this latest iteration of the game. And for one win, it is very much a home away from home. 80% win rate across 15 in both editions. As Forrester shows exactly why. Key on the response from Heaven, but Forrester is continuing to strip his teammates away from him. Norot, the coach, the next to fall as Goofy up close and personal with those Julies, hoping to find a little bit of damage for now, though. That man advantage does remain with the T side, although Kyler on the second set of Julies able to strip it away and cause a little bit of carnage here. Goofy continuing to swing, finally put down by Deco, but it's a little bit of a pinch into the site. Key dinked up, has to fall away, and opens up for the 2-on-2. Bomb for now is down outside of the garage. They're looking for the boost up into Heaven here, the T side. As Boomlich and Deco try and assemble this one. Key, though, on the jump spot has spotted it, and Kylar's done one better. Takes Deco out of the equation and leaves the in-game leader Boomich to try and clutch up this 1v2. Very limited information about where either of these CT players are. Knows he needs a peek, but for now, nobody has given him anything. 40 seconds left on the clock. He wants to fake the idea that he's dropped on down here, trying to isolate that first 1v1, but Key is still right underneath him, just waiting, playing with those sound cues and executing his man. And it's 9 who come out with an unlikely pistol.
Yeah, those dual Berettas especially managed to get work done in that round. Yeah, I mean, we mentioned obviously Minio stepping back or being kicked. I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't have time to look. Dropped to K. That's what I thought happened, but you know, you always want to presume that it was their choice first. You know, be nice. But yeah, I mean, Norot's capable. He is definitely capable of filling in here, but I don't feel like in the first place that 9 have a tremendous fragger. They tend to be a relatively equal team in that sense. You'll be relying on everyone to step up and have their performance. On the other hand, 1 win, I feel like they have a few more players in terms of the star potential. So 9 needed that pistol round to kick things off here and hopefully also have a pretty clean anti-eco here up against what is just a few pistols being upgraded. So we'll see. Bit of presence outside. There's 2 M4s holding the Lion, and well, with the initial kill already going the way of Hades, I don't think they're going to have too much trouble with this one.
Should be relatively plain sailing. I mean, Forrester's got a Deagle, so there is some potential there, but Hades is having, well, precisely none of it. There's a P250 on Travis as well, but again, just not really being given the opportunity to do anything, these long-range fights. Admittedly, maybe Kylar and Goofy want to get involved here, try and get those MP9s farming a bit of cash, and, well, I speak it into existence. As Kylar gets his first of the round, Goofy's just playing with Boomich, tagging up his food. Quite able to find the conversion. Nickelback the next to fall down, and yeah, this one's gone pretty much exactly how you would have wanted for a CT side, just picking at them with the MP9s, using the M4A1s for the ranged work towards outside, getting a very solid job done, no casualties taken. And now we get into the actual interesting stuff. First buy on the cards for 1 win, and for the CT side, it's a bit of a tough one, really, because they didn't actually get that much done with the MP9s. They got a handful of kills, but with 3 players invested into them, they're going to have to go for a bit of a bonus round here up against what is looking to be full AK-47s for 1 win. That sounded bad.
Yeah, someone dropped out. Who was it? It was double Deco now, so it was...
Just heard someone go splat.
Nickelback, I believe?
Yeah, looks like we're missing Nickelback.
Hopefully, economy-wise, everything will be okay. Once he gets back in, they can probably quickly reset it or whatever. But yeah, going into this first gun round here and now 1 win, at the very least, they're getting a bit more time, I suppose, to talk about what they're going to do. But it's not a great time. You're trying to just kick things off. Now they're going to be left waiting. As Forrester seems to have rejoined. Or Nickelback, rather, seems to have rejoined.
Yeah, we got 5 back, and he hadn't bought before he died as well, so I think he's going to be good. Because he hadn't bought anything. I think he probably timed out before the round was even over, so he didn't really get an opportunity to buy up. Hopefully, he's not got any lingering issues, and we can get this one back on the road sooner rather than later. Interesting choice to rock the gloves and a default knife. Always confuses me slightly. I feel like if you're going to go for any skin in the game, if you're going to go, you know, gloves are expensive. If you're going to go for a good skin, why not just pick up a nice knife?
Maybe he just got sick of the knives, I don't know. Wanted that default animation after trying all the other ones. He's a basic man, that's what it is.
Yeah, if you want the default animation after seeing a butterfly knife, then I can't reason with you. Either way, there we go. See, look at that from Forestry. It's a nice combination. It connects. Right. I'll stop nattering on about skins because the game is about to go live again. We have
What
got
is the name of that knife,
9.
though? I forget the names of all the new ones.
Is it a skeleton? I think it's a skeleton.
Like that? Okay.
He's shown us it in plenty of angles just to make it even more obvious that we're old-fashioned and only know the classics. But, right, game, brain, engage. 9, 2-0 up against 1 win. Looking at a little bit of a bonus round here with the 3 MP9s. Expect something a little snazzy, perhaps, as they try and get those MP9s up close and personal, give them position to do work. It's a fairly default setup to start things off, however, sticking one of them on the top of the hut, one of them close towards the ramp, and one just holding for any aggression out Squeaky as the initial nades go through. And it's a fairly solid opening set from the CT side, in all honesty, because this T side have not got a whole lot of utility. So as they start to drop little bits and pieces, you can see the first round of smokes going down by the CT side to deny vision. But there's more where that came from. There's still a second batch. Kylar's got one now that he'll drop towards Squeaky. That buys another 30 seconds easily. And just chipping away at the clock, it really does become a game like that on Nuke. It's about chipping away at the clock, buying yourself time, forcing the Ts to make decisions that they don't want to be making. And as 1 win start to work their way towards outside, that's exactly what you've got here. They've only got a single smoke left, so they can't cover their own cross here. It's going to have to be a dry swing, and well, Key takes full advantage. Takes a lot of damage for his trouble, though, and he's going to be wall-banged out by Deco. Into the 4-on-4. Still a couple of players lurking, though. Not committed down to that lower side just yet whatsoever. Travis going to be overwhelmed by a double MP9 drop into the hut. And suddenly this one gets very sketchy. The bomb been left towards Secret for now as they're trying to work out which site they want to probe. But Kylar's taken the only A player left for this T side out. The MP9's continuing to get work done, upgrading onto the AK-47s on 2 of them as well. As Nickelback and Deco, well, they're left to try and unknit this one. The Molotov will do good work, forces Hades to occupy a new position, but there's nobody really available to punish, courtesy of how few players are left in the server. Deco doing what he can with Nickelback, but there's only 6 seconds left on the clock here. Hades just needs to buy time, and I think he just about has. Goes down to Nickelback, but that extra half a second it took to get that kill to unlock Deco's positioning is just about enough for 9 to get it over the line.
This is crazy from 9 in the initial moments. I mean, in terms of their Nuke performances, there's very little on their history. I think the one game they had was like 3 months ago and it didn't go too great for them either. So the fact that they've been able to get this 3-0 start, just about clinching that round there as well by the skin of their teeth, it's perhaps a little bit of a tilter here for 1 win, who are maybe expecting a bit of an easier game considering they know the in-game leader is no longer with 9. Their coach, of course, has stepped in. If they had have gotten off to a strong start, I'd imagine it would have been hard to break that confidence of 1 win. So this was desperately needed for 9. Let's see, though. There's still some rifles in play, a Mac-10 there as well, in the hands of Travis, and a chance to definitely do something in this round for 1 win as they move in towards ramp. Unfortunately, stuck dealing with the op initially, and Nora, who manages to take out 2. Eventually burns in that molly, but done his job, and he allowed for another rotation even to come in here from Kylar already. They just need to ensure they don't give any 1v1s away. Nickelback definitely a capable player. Not one blind,
nice utility. Though. Yeah, just knocks his vision completely. Boomich already taking a ton of damage in an earlier engagement. Should just be a matter of mopping up. Kylar caught with a nade in his hand, but the nade will make it just far enough to get his mark as Boomich goes down. And I mean, that's a really solid hold from Nora. It's a really solid hold from 9 entirely. Hades doing a good job on the AWP. Let's see sometimes in this edition of the game that, you know, holding an angle like that on the AWP can be punished by the Peeker's advantage, but courtesy of it being such a long-range angle, there's so many possibilities for 1 win to have to clear. I think it gives Hades the ability to hold it, gets his kill. Nora does fantastically, grabs a double, stalls things out. And we got 1 win back down onto the half by a couple of techs, handful of deagles. Expect to see something a little faster paced in these opening moments. Instead, it's a triple nade stack out towards Mini. Not catching anything, though. A little unfortunate. Again, it's one of those ones, you've got a nice idea, give it a go, see if you can find something with it. Unfortunately, on this occasion, not to be. And now the Deagles, with the Tech 9 leading the charge, are going to look towards outside. Wall of smokes goes down. Doesn't fully obscure the vision of Hades, however, and he's able to open things up. It's a little bit of chip damage onto Travis as well through about half a dozen walls, but it is going to be secret control taken, and you can see the CT starting to scramble a little bit as Key, stuck out in no man's land, will be traded 1 for 1. And that starts to open up this lower site. CT's, again, nobody immediately down in this lower site to support, so they start to scramble. And with the bomb on his back, Travis has the potential to unlock something here.
Yeah, I mean, how are his teammates going to help him out in this situation, though, is the question. There really just needs to be success down on that B-bomb site itself, and it just hasn't happened. Deco and Travis both taken out. Forrester's left alone on 10 health in the lobby, and I was going to say his legs there being spotted should be the death of him, but no, it was an upper on the other side of the angle. So missed shot gives him a chance to hang on to life for the moment, and well, maybe try and take one player to the grave with him. That's not going to be an easy task, though. Yeah, I mean, this is one win's choice. We've got to stress that. We have Vertigo coming up next, and then if needed, Mirage is the decider, both of which on paper are better than Nuke for 9. Mirage not fantastic, so I think if 9 do end up taking the win here on Nuke, they'll be looking for that 2-0 for sure on Vertigo. But yeah, this is just a surprising start to this series.
Still relatively early doors. I know it's MR12 and we're nearly at the halfway point, but it's still, I mean, we've only had, what, 1.5 rifle rounds for one win, I'll go with.
Yeah, but
this is the second time they've really had full utility behind it as well. Admittedly, everything they've done has looked blunt. But we'll have to see if maybe the extra nades give Boomich something to call around, something to work with here. Initial util towards outside, just designed to deny vision. Nobody really there to push the issue with it. Instead, a couple of pop flashes out towards Squeaky. And again, nobody really pushing it whatsoever. I think maybe just hoping for some early aggression here. You can see Boomich jump spotting. Forrester was lurking around the main and Squeaky angles. Instead, a HE goes in, a sound cue is given, and a bit of chip damage is done. I mean, they're setting up for this A-pop here. One win, but they've burnt a lot of utility not doing it, so it's going to get a little sketchy here. Molotov over the top rope does expose Kyler, and he goes down for free, and this is all a bit of a ruse here, as instead, the 4 remaining players are going to head their way towards the ramp, and for now, there really is no rotation available. Nobody is anywhere near. Forrester continuing to get work on the upper bomb site, but it's Hades, solo, down lower with it all to do. He grabs an initial kill, but almost immediately Deco is there to put him to the sword. And at this point, one win should be converting this round handily. Nora in some kind of a position to make the rotate a reality, but you can see Goofy is still so conscious that Forrester was somewhere in that upper site, only just now making his way down towards Secret. So much time off the clock before they even get into a viable position to retake, and without a kill basically being presented to them, it should be a back away and save. Yeah, they might not even be allowed to do that here. Nickelback's going for the hunt.
Oh. Did spot the barrel of a weapon, maybe? I'm not too sure. Either way, Forrester's coming in from outside as well, so I don't know if any of these weapons are going to be allowed to be saved. Here we go, the first kill comes in. Now they have the other player pinched in towards Secret. They come back even check in that corner, so Nora will not be too happy about that one. And yeah, that round just looked like it made a lot more sense. Initial openings being found. They probed out towards A, tried to, of course, put in that fake. They get that kill on A, which has 9 scattering all over the place. It pulled Nora off a ramp, and they just managed to make some good calls, really. That's what we're seeing right there. The economy, though, I mean, it would have been great if 9 could have saved those 2 weapons. They would have been absolutely flush right now. They would have had everything they could ask for. Instead, there's an MP9 and a Deagle in there. The nades could be a little bit better as well. And when you're on the CT side of Nuke here in such an important round, any weakness really could be exploited. So let's see. If one win take this, they have another round coming off the back of it pretty much for free, and a chance to start establishing this T side after we had, of course, mentioned it was already getting towards that halfway point without them being on the board. So
yeah, CT economy in 2023, ladies and gentlemen. 5-0, lose 1, struggle to get anything together. Norot, though, he's flying for a coach. 5-4, has found yet another pick. This time it's aggression out through ramp room into trophy that gets him his opening man advantage. Can we see the conversion, though? That lower site is looking very vulnerable. Norot tagged down low in the opening engagements is an easy kill for Forrester and Key. Well, he's only got a Deagle to work with here. Has to be very, very cautious of that. Hades has managed to rotate into a position to assist. Picks off Boomich. Bomb still to make the cross as well. Deco very fortunate to be alive. Finally, Key is dealt with, but he's bought so much time just staying alive in towards Decon that Kylar is available for the trade. 2-on-3. This is going to be a tough old hold for OneWin to keep their hands on. Forrester looking to play close to the double doors here, hoping just to catch someone off guard. Manages to nab one. Trade not able to come through from Goofy either, so Forrester does his job to perfection. Now it's about buying time for Deco, but he's gone down. Deco, position now known as he buys himself the 1v1. Looks to take the fight. Flashbanged out, but Goofy is having none of it. Where's the kit, boys? Where's the kit? This is mighty close. I do believe he's got it, though. So 9 are going to get away with another one. Goes down to the absolute last man, but they will have a 6th round on the board. Orp should be saved if they want it up towards those double doors. Indeed it is. And that's a solid little retake. Again, 9 getting themselves the early man advantage despite the lack of firepower, making the space for the M4A1s and the Orp to sing.
Yeah, and as you said, Nora is showing up. He's having a decent performance here, which is really the most you could ask of him. Just carry his own weight. You have Hades then performing. Kylar's getting some good moments in as well. So I like what we're seeing from 9. As we had said, though, OneWin, I believe, we're on like a 16 best-of-3 win streak between CS2 and CSGO. So if 9 have it in them rather to actually break that streak, it's a good start for sure, but the guns are still in play for OneWin, and if they can win out this round, then that economy for 9 is completely broken as Hades loses his head outside, spotted over blue. He's going to be spotting that cross, at least the Secret should have won a return, but no! It is a whiffed spray, which gives Boomage pretty much a free frag. They're wrapping around through main now, that MP9 under so much pressure. I'm surprised Kylar even comes away with a frag, as the coach now is left alone, being hunted on outside. Boomage already deep in towards that spawn area, which wasn't realized. And yeah, I mean, I can barely get a few sentences out before OneWin quickly shut me up and return the favor onto 9 and leave them in a very awkward double eco that is going to see them forcing, that is likely going to see them allowing the scoreline to come back towards a 6-4 unless they can find a bit of a miracle here and now.
Yeah, that was tough. Tough to watch, not going to lie to you. 9 just getting decimated by Boomich. It's a really nice shot on Hades to open it up, but then Key has to be making that trade. Simple things. Going down that easily. It's a 3-on-5, all too easy for a team of OneWin's caliber to be finding the conversion from there. This one, of course, a little bit more sketchy. Had to go for the force buy. There's just not enough money left. Kylar drops his feet into a Molotov, goes down freely, gives the sound cues. I think he just got overwhelmed. Too much stimulus on his screen simultaneously. Can't do anything about it. And for Hades and Key, I mean, do you back away and save deagles and armor and hope that you can give yourselves a little bit of bite into the next round, or you do try and take some rifles away? Hades manages 1, but it's a very muted half-buy force, whatever you want to call it, from 9. It's a full eco to follow. OneWin up to 4, as you said, and despite initially the signs being so negative, they are finding their feet very swiftly on the T side of Nuke.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. Kylar, I think the molly was there before he got blinded, but once he was blind, he just forgot about it, ended up standing in it, unfortunately. Either way, Nico coming in, they have a Zeus and some pistols. They'll hope for a bit of damage, but OneWin should have a 4th round. And they're in with a pretty decent chance of maybe still tying this half up at 6-6, which would be a fantastic recovery from where they were just a couple of rounds ago. Kylar playing up close. Hopefully with that Deagle, we'll be able to get a bit of damage done once this push comes from Hut. They're also coming out of door, rather. Spotted that boost. I'm surprised he wasn't ready for the second player. There was a Zeus kill, and somehow Kylar with that AK manages himself too. And it's all on Key. He has the backstab. It's the P250 to the head that gets it done. Travis seemed cautious of the fact that that could be coming in from behind, but he just wasn't quite ready for it.
That was absolute carnage. I don't think there's anything other to say than that. They went for the brawl on the A site, and somehow 9 with a Deagle and a recovered AK managed to come out on top of it. Just holding the line, buying themselves as much time for that backstab from Key to come in as they could. And somehow, some way, that's the miracle round that 9 needed. You spoke about it. You know, this was starting to get very sketchy from 5-0. You were looking at reasonably a 6-all. Now it's 7-3. Opportunity to resettle. Make this a very solid CT side of Nuke indeed for 9. He playing very proactively up towards red. Wants to take the fight to this T side, and he's got half a gap in the smoke, but Nickelback spotted him through that very gap he looked to exploit. All too easy. OneWin find themselves with the opening yet again, and Boomich is not resting on it. Flies down Secret and looks to take the fight to a dropping Kylar. Timing on this could be everything. Boomich is watching for Goofy, able to get the kill before he's traded. Keeps his team in the ascendancy for now, but it's Hades instead. Just chipping away at that outside presence. Manages to grab one. Travis already out onto the A site as a result of that aggression into lower. Buys his team the man advantage anew. And for Kylar and Nora, it is, well, it's a decision to make. Forrester is already thinking about hunting, though, and he's given away a 2v2 retake here, which may well come back to bite him. I mean, Travis, if that molly goes towards the other vent, life gets very difficult for him. Deco just comes off the angle as the peak starts to come in, goes back for it, however, and gets his man. And at this point for Nora, I don't think there's too much more he can do. The crossfire is well established. Deco will put his man down. One will have their 4th round just a little later than they were hoping for. There we go. We've got one more round. Everyone's confused with the new MR12. It just catches everyone off guard. You know, you're looking at it going, 7 and 4, is that 12? I only did maths at A level. I can't get it.
I presume it was just one of those game crashes that you get sometimes.
Nah, it's math. Yeah. Math confuses everyone.
I don't know why my hay fever is acting up at the beginning of November. Some of that.
Here we go, though. Force buy is in. Hades has got an AWP. Everyone else is on pistols. So, realistically, Hades, what have you got for us? Early pick onto Nickelback as he looks to cross the secret is exactly what the doctor ordered. Echo has managed to pick off Kylar in response, but again, they're only losing pistols every time here. And Nora, again, somehow, some way, has managed to find a 1-for-1 trade. 8 kills. He's out fragging Goofy and Key at the moment. They'll be thinking they need to step their game up. And Goofy does just that. 1 and a dink to follow it. Travis lucky to be alive. Hades confirming that lobby is open for the time being. The problem is 2-on-2. There are gaps all over the shop on Nuke. And Boomich has found one. Into heaven. If Hades presumes that this A site is still clear, then he's in for one hell of a shock. For now, though, they might be able to catch Travis in transition. The utility should give away what the game is here. Key has managed to recover himself an AK-47, and with Travis so low on HP, there's a very real shot for this CT side here. Hades looking to be the man. Key goes for the initial swing. Good tag damage onto Boomlich, who has to relocate now. But here's Travis's utility starting to come in. They want to flush him out. They know he's low on HP. They know Goofy has communicated there's a dink here. But he's managed to slink away without being spotted. He's through main now. And with Boomich on a flank of his own, this one is surely going to be a disaster. Key goes down for free. Hades gets one and somehow 180s for the second. Reads one, lets his teammate die, flicks to the second. And Hades, you hero, top of the scoreboard for 9, grabs them an 8th round right at the death of it. That is an incredibly solid CT side from 9 as we head to the real halftime break. Well, OneWin have left themselves with a mountain to climb on their map pick. I think that is safe to say. A comprehensive 8-4, including a couple of very miraculous CT rounds, 4-9. The scoreboard says 9-4. I think we missed the second half pistol, which went the way of 9, and now we are back into it with the eco. Now everyone's caught up.
Shout out to producers probably panicking that the players didn't take the break that they're always meant to take. That's a... Yeah, usually there's about 3 minutes or so.
That's a yikes. Man advantage there for OneWin, though. A double dink from those USPs, getting them early control. And, well, Kylar needs to make this MAC-10 work. There is a lot of presence still available on this A site. He's running out of bullets, but Key is there to back his man up. Does a fantastic job before he gets too sketchy. Key with 3 in the round now. Travis, last alive, looking to mop up what he can. Not to be. It's 10-9. And they are absolutely flying here. I mean, second half pistol gives them the perfect platform. They found the conversion without too many issues. You lose the MAC-10s, it's neither here nor there. I was wondering how players have MAC-10s in pistol rounds, but now it all makes sense to me.
Oh, this is rough for OneWin. What is happening? Like, honestly, this is
I'm just looking at the I'm looking at the round history. It was a flawless pistol as well.
Seriously? So they absolutely slapped them. Had a strong force pistol as well, I believe. Not too much of an issue. Other than a few kind of iffy rounds, things have just been fully in control of 9, really. Even winning out some eco rounds, basically, to actually take control back whenever it looked like OneWin might just have their feet on the ground stable. So, yeah, it's a rough position to be in. This gun round is a must-win for OneWin. Otherwise, things are basically going to be over before they can ever get a chance to actually start putting in a fight. Outside smokes, no one actually pushing though with them. They're going to hang back for the moment, and Nickelback gets spotted crossing into that right side of garage, which is going to be an awkward position. He's forced to drop the smoke. That'll allow him to reposition if he wants, but it also gives 9 a ton of control towards outside.
This is exactly what they were looking for here. 4 players pressing the issue. Little bit of chip damage on the spam from Boomich, but it leaves him exposed. He goes for the reload, and the lurking Kylar gets his man. There is a response, however. Forrester and Travis both finding kills. Swinging this round back in the CT's favour, as now with 2 on the lower site, they are well placed to deal with this push, but Deco has to find his man there. Hades on the worst weaponry, not 1 but 2 headshots out of the Galil, looking to back his teammate up as well. Swings wide on low HP to deal with Nickelback and Forrester. A 1v2 to contend with. Position now known by Nora. There's limited HP on Hades. He's just going to swing right on in there. Goes down, but Nora available for the trade. Another well-executed round. I mean, at a man disadvantage, it just feels like OneWin aren't really tuned in at the moment. Unfortunately, that not being tuned in has apparently been causing some technical issues as well. So we are going to have to wait a little while for this one to be fixed. And we've been told by our production team that we can go to a break. So we're going to throw it out. And hopefully very shortly we'll be back. All right, we're back. A little bit of confusion there. Apologies, everyone, but we have got all our issues resolved. We are back and at it with one win fully on the ropes here. This buy to try and preserve map point. And it's not a good one whatsoever. Famas's CZ's a nade stack, which Forrester does well to get a kill through. Goes down for his troubles, though. And that is one of the big weapons lost early on. You've got to imagine they're going to try and rotate that to someone like Boomich. Indeed, get him off that CZ. Get the upgrade out and available as Key starts to try and press the issue towards outside. There is a lot of CT presence here, however, as he looks to dummy the initial control, sets himself up. Instead, his teammates starting to probe the ramp. For now, though, waiting for this exact aggression, and Goofy alive to the threat, able to deal with Boomich. I mean, Nickelback is still very aggressive on the angle, but if they expect him, it's a easy enough clear out at this point. That Molotov's going to go a little too deep, or is it? He's starting to step forward. He's thinking about it. He swings. Utility in the hands of Goofy, but Kylar is there for the trade. The man advantage still there for now for the T side. A lot of damage onto Hades, though. Dinked up. Has to join his teammates as they want to hit this upper site, but that's where everyone is for the CT side now. Key finally deals with Deco, and it's all on Travis. Two low HP players makes this very viable for the MP9. He's got a lot of space to work with. Kylar has no idea where he is. Now he's got an AK. Hades and Key, both a shot from death. And Travis has got the opportunity here to pull off a miraculous 1v3 and get his team back into this one. 25 seconds on the clock. That bomb down in absolutely no man's land, but he can't land the shot onto Key. The spray just not quite there for him. Nothing is working for one win right now. And 9 are one round away from an absolutely miraculous map steal.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, I thought if we were going to have a fight coming into this game from 9, that they'd probably have a good performance on Vertigo, and then maybe we'd see them have some hope on Mirage, depending on how the individuals were performing. But no, they come in here on the map that we expected them to get absolutely rolled on, and they have made it look pretty damn easy so far. Well, for a single round to put an end to this, 8 in a row needed if one win want to take us into an overtime. It does seem like they're going to be, unfortunately, getting into a position here where they're going to have to try and fight back up on Vertigo and Mirage.
I mean, this is a tough position to be in, isn't it? Just feels like no. I'm reluctant to call it a dead team buff because they've only lost one player, but 9 are just playing with a level that we've not seen from them in a little while here. Norot is absolutely flying and continues to do so. 12 and 12, 2 headshot entries onto Deco and Nickelback in this round. A 3-on-5 for his team. Boomich is looking for more, but Key is alive and ready to the threat. 2 quick headshots from him, and this one's done. Forrester looking for what he can, but it's consolation kills realistically. A couple of nice shots towards outside, but he's down to single digits. The utility continues to reign into heaven, his last known position. I mean, this one's done. This is a procession. This is a map that 9 have played barely at all. I mean, you're looking at once in the last 3 months and 6 times in as far as I can see the stats going, and they have just bossed it. Just made it look far, far too simple. I do wonder if one win may be a little keen in picking into this one. You know, we talk about how important it can be to see the demos, to anti-strat, but maybe with Hooch leaving one win, I'm really clutching at straws here. You go, oh, Hooch left one win as the coach. Maybe they're not anti-stratting as hard. They didn't have the demos on 9. 9 obviously had the footage on one win, and they've got their coach in the perfect position maybe to exploit that fact. I'm looking for reasons here, Ding.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it, the fact that they have Nora in there. He could have been watching a ton of demos before they got rid of Minio, just so that he'd be aware of what's going on from that coach role. Now he's in, as you said, calling. He might be just putting in great mid-round calls, but that wasn't even necessarily what was happening. The individuals just looked so much better on the side of 9. They looked more coordinated in the trades, etc. They just looked like a unit, which shouldn't be the case as much when they're the ones that have the stand-in, and one win are the ones that have a 16 best-of-3 win streak, only broken by like a single best-of-1 loss in there at some point. So everything on paper coming into this game said one win should have had a pretty easy time, especially on Nuke. Somehow, though, that didn't happen, and now moving forward, as I said, Vertigo, on paper, should be a better map for 9 than Nuke was, but it's also a pretty good map for 1 win. So I'm not going to completely get rid of my hopes, but yeah, I'm hoping we can have a closer map maybe at least coming forward.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call, this second map, isn't it? Because we've spoken about it before. Vertigo, historically the home of 9, but they've really not looked good on it recently. They've had a lot of issues. Having said that, we look at their Nuke and go, maybe those issues are going to look a lot less severe now. Adding to that, though, 1 win on a 7-map win streak, looking very, very proficient. They've won it every time they've played it in the last 3 months. So this second map should, by all accounts, be a banger. That first should have been a stomp. It was a stomp the wrong way. This one should be a much, much closer affair. So stick with us, ladies and gents. We'll throw it to the break, and when we're back, we will have Vertigo for you.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Nothing but the fading light.
Well, I think it's safe to say map 1 shocked us all. A dominant victory for 9 on their side of what used to be their home ground in Vertigo. That fine form they seem to find out of just about nowhere. 1 win, of course, looking to put some demons to bed here on the map. They've also been incredibly proficient of late, but Norot is just continuing where he started. 1 ball to the skull to deal with early. Maybe information towards the side lane as the rest of this T side, they want to take B, and for now it's completely unoccupied. Boomich goes 1 for 1 in mid, but that's enough. The B bomb site open for business here. CT's seemingly very comfortable to have a crack at this retake, even without a kit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sure, they have the numbers advantage, but as you mentioned, no kit, so they've got to move in quick on this one, and that's exactly what they're attempting. But Travis up close on that Glock makes it difficult. Forrester in behind the generator as well, takes out 1, but he can't quite finish off Key. Just about inches that pistol round in favor of 9. What a crazy round. A closer one than the pistols that went down on Nuke, as far as I can tell. We missed the second one, but I believe you said that it was a
flawless.
Yeah, pretty flawless one indeed for 9. So a bit more of a challenge here, definitely to kick off Vertigo, but it's still the pistol round that goes their way. 1 win, they got the bomb plants, and they might force up into the Galils, but they might also look at 1 eco just so they can come into as strong of a buy as possible early on. But no, it looks like they're going to go with that first option, yeah. Get the Galils out, you have pretty decent firepower, almost on par with what the CT side have. It makes sense. We know this is kind of the standard play as it has been for a long ass time now. But let's see if it's going to be enough.
Especially with the shortened halves now.
Yeah.
Makes sense to get guns out as early and frequently as you possibly can.
There's a lot more pressure on you, especially, like as you said, the shorter halves, but the economy has not changed at all, so.
Don't want to be losing an early man, however. And that's exactly what happens. Make it 2. Hades going down the A ramp has dealt with both Forrester and Boomich. Huge amount gained. 3 remaining T-side players are looking to make something of this push up the ramp. Kylar tagged down by the HE. Information available, but teammates looking to flood in support here. Travis does get rid of Kylar at the very least and looks to continue the rain from his pistol. 2 quick kills. Norok goes down. Goofy forced to hide inside of the smoke. Travis with yet another huge kill, but here comes that MP9 straight out of the smoke. Goofy with 2. Wants all 3, but Nickelback will finally put him down and buys his team half a chance here in the 1v1. Up close and personal, looking to play with the Galil, but Hades, no fear. Swings wide, grabs his a third and final kill of the round. Grabs 9 a second as well. The problem for 9 is, and it's a problem they flirted with on Nuke, other than their miraculous pistol wins, they are going down to the last man. And they did it on the pistol, they did it again here. So the economy is never really establishing itself for the CT side. You can see even this round, they're going to be buying up a couple of MP9s to make it work. So all it's going to take is 1 round here for 1 win. At the moment, 1 little bit of magic would be enough to break the funds and give them something to work with, as it's a fast play towards A to start things off. This time, Hades won't be running down that ramp. The initial Molotovs are good for stalling, and they do actually convince 1win to reconsider their options, at least initially. They bleed out a good amount of CT utility. Look to regroup down the ramp. Indeed, in towards the scaffolding as well, and actually look to bail out almost entirely into mid, just leaving Travis to hold on to this tarp for as long as he possibly can. The Tech 9 up close and personal can be so lethal, but Hades has read him well. And as the rest of the team storm out onto B, there is still presence here. An M4 and an MP9 ready to receive these techs as they come on out. Goofy, good for a 1-for-1, but his M4 teammate can't get anything. Deco and Forrester with a killer piece start to make this very sketchy. Norok manages 1, but again, the response is immediate, and into the 2-on-2, it gets very awkward. Forrester again on the tech finds another response and somehow gets the critical kill. I said it would take 1 round to break him. I didn't think it'd be so damn soon. Deco and Forrester with the Tech 9 headshots pull a miracle round out the back pocket for 1 win.
That was crazy, and going into that round, they spent quite a lot as well, so if they hadn't got the bomb plant, and if they hadn't won, obviously, then things could have been pretty awkward for 1win. 9 could have had a great chance to stabilize in the early stages. Instead, they got overrun on B, despite having a good start with those initial kills even going their way. It's a rough one to lose, and it leaves them on what was, I believe, the double eco. And despite having not fully invested, they've spent most of their money. They're going to be keeping a small bit. It'll go towards getting a buyout in towards likely round 6, I would imagine at this point. If they lose this, it would be an eco coming through. But we'll see. Pistols and Kevlar. We know back on Nuke especially, 9 did have quite a bit of success with these weaker investments. Oh, the timing on the push does find the dink on Deco. Unfortunately, the AK shuts him down. Oh,
that's a tough one to take. They're looking for these shots. Goofy not quite able to connect, though, and as he's punished by the nade, it is now 1 win, starting to thin the numbers. Handful of very swift kills go against 9, and despite that initial promising damage, not able to make anything of this pistol. Kylar grabs at least the 1, and there is some low HP bars around him, but Deco able to put him down before he finds too many more of those. So we level things out at 2 apiece, and this is much more like it for 1 win. Starting to find their feet a little earlier here on Vertigo. Starting to look a lot more in tune, a lot more what we expect of this roster. And for 9, that CT side economy, as pesky as it always is, they're going to look at a half buy into this one. No real investment. Goofy's going to pick up a flashbang. Imagine we're going to see something a little cheeky. Norok goes for the P250 because, well, why not? And we're going to go apply some pressure in towards middle here, charging through with the flashbang. The flash, a little awkward. Boomich not quite as blind as you'd like him to be. Goes 1 for 1. AK recovered, but the rest of this T side are flying into the B side, which of course is grossly unoccupied. Deco and Travis finding kills. And again, this is just going to be a matter of mopping up as Hades accidentally, we're going to have to say, takes out his own teammate in Kylar. That's a little awkward. At this point, though, any damage is solid. And well, he's grabbed at least a couple of kills. Forrester is on a backstabbing mission, though, and Hades, oh, he's aware. He spots his man out, but he can't quite find the shot. 1 win take the lead. And now things start to get really interesting as these rifles will come out for the CT side.
Very curious how the hell that team kill came about.
Just seemed like he got scared.
I think so, yeah. I can't understand what else. It's not like I don't think they were flashed or anything. I don't think there was really any reason that he should have been in panic mode, but he saw some movement and just shot. So hopefully he'll be hitting some nasty shots like that on the opposing team now as the half moves on. As we said, though, coming into round 6 was where we expected 9 to get back onto the guns, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Decent utility. No op in play, sure. They've got the rifles, and well, let's see what the plan is. I don't think there's a kit in play either, so they probably don't want it to come down to a retake. See, because of that, they actually want to press the issue here in the initial stages. It's Goofy. Spots to jump back across. He has a lot of help here, but unfortunately, it's not going to be doing too much for them as the initial kill goes the way of that T side. And with the trades back and forth, sure, it ends up in a 3-on-3, but 1 win can be pretty happy with that, especially with the ground that they're starting to cover elsewhere. Never mind. Boomich take it out in mid. That was their chance to really take control of this round, and likely it would have given them the option to split towards wherever they wanted. Instead, now Forrester and Nickelback are left working alone up this A ramp.
Oh, that smoke's missed, though. Did not mean to go there. Nickelback spotted out. Over on A, gives the information across to Key, smokes himself off, knows there's a man pushing up, but the spray is ugly. Cannot find anywhere near enough connection, and neither can Hades. Forrester, 2 huge kills up on site, and those were the kind of kills that were all going 9's way on map 1. The nerves perhaps starting to kick in a little bit now as Kylar has got to try and work his way into a 1v2. Deals with the first man well. Forrester is tagged down low here. Problem is, as you said, there's no kits available. There's no utility for Kylar either. He's just got to pray that he can draw Forrester into this fight as quickly as possible. And Forrester knows he's just got to play for the time here. Charged down by the rifle, however. It will be 9, stealing away a third. Down to the absolute wire, as always on this CT side. The last man alive just about gets it done, but I think we're starting to see those cracks in this 9 roster. Starting to see those shots that were landing on Nuke not being the case here on Vertigo, and it's leaving them in a little bit of an awkward spot. This buy not going to be great. The money is plentiful for 1 win as well, and if they can get this one on the board, it's another eco to follow, and they start to really string together a T side here on Vertigo.
Yeah, I mean, it's Forrester who keeps winning these fights that he should have absolutely no right coming out on top of. Obviously, won them their first round, managed to give them a chance in that previous round, a really good chance until it was saved, but it is definitely a better individual performance in the early stages from 1 win. Early ramp control coming through for that CT side. There's not a lot here to challenge, but there is 1 player waiting at the bottom, so they do need to be somewhat cautious, and it is the man I was just mentioning, Forrester, who looks to be in good form, but it's going to be a full-on B hit in the meantime. Just a little bit of a fake being sold around that ramp by 1 player. They don't pull rotations away, sure, but there is still only the 2 players on the bomb site itself to hold this off, and it's the MP9 of Goofy to start it. in a pretty decent fashion, but unfortunately I don't know how much more he can do at this point as he's covered in flames. Eventually forced out of position and taken out, but it's a 3-on-3, so it's not a terrible spot for 9 to be in as the bomb only goes down now.
It's a chance. There is a kit on Norot this time, but it's a tough retake to make stick. The smokes will buy a lot of time for this T side to work around, and Deco knows it. Plays close to the Jennies. His teammates taking up afterplants in and around the white box. The spam through continuing to connect. Key has got one, but here's Deco swinging wide. Immediately Trade comes in. Looks for more around the edge of the smoke, but he's dealt with well by Norot. And Nickelback is left. 1v2. Norot's got the kit and he takes the fight perhaps too soon. Hades now has to go to the corpse, has to go for the retrieval, and Nickelback knows it. He's just playing for time. He's playing that bomb for all it's worth, and he'll get the round. As much as he goes down, he plays that white box to perfection. It's a 4th on the board for 1 win, and unfortunately for 9, because they committed to it so heavily, it's only the one man saving into the next. That'll be Hades. Teammates around him in a very rough position indeed.
Yeah, I mean, that was so awkward in the 1v1. That smoke down on the left side as well means he has to go wide if he wants to try and take the peak from that side, and so instead he steps back, waits for the peak to come in, and just doesn't have the time for the defuse anymore. 1 win.
It's one of those ones where I wonder if it's a player and not a coach, it goes differently, because Norot had the kit and he went for the fight first. I wonder if if you've been playing and you're feeling it and you've been playing a lot more games recently, maybe you don't make that swing, you let your teammate take it instead. Not to be. Hades trying to make that rifle sing early, is punished for it. At least it's recoverable, but the man advantage now there for the T side of 1 win, and they can just slow this one right down.
Key at the very least recovered that M4, but ideally you'd want it in the hands maybe of Nora. Obviously he is the coach, but he's the only one with Kevlar. I guess it doesn't make much of a difference when you get naded and shot without being able to do too much at all. And boost dismantled. Nora gets 2 of them as he pushes in towards the scaffolding and is now left in a winnable 1-on-2. Forrester though has been on form. Despite the low health, he's not going to let Nora have anything else to say. Ends it with 2 players left alive here for 1 win. Bit closer, I think, than they would have liked. So the damage is definitely being sustainably done. 9 have a chance technically here in this round to almost break 1 win down completely after this reinvestment. So you can see the opening right back into the game, but 1 win right now are looking like almost a whole different team in comparison to what we had on Nuke. Yeah,
completely different. Much more proficient. Norot doing everything he could in that round, does very well. Little unfortunate Forrester, the man he has to face in that critical 1v1. Would just about anyone else you might have backed him not to be. They're looking for the aggression in mid this time, 9, and they've got it. Goofy and Norot well set up to trade the kills down. Buy themselves that man advantage that they've struggled to find for so long. Travis takes a ton of damage through the wood as well, down into the single digits. He's losing teammates. Meanwhile, Kylar blinded up. Spam down onto Deco connects, and at this point, this round again is looking very, very awkward for the boys of 1 win. Forrester caught on an off angle by Kylar as he looks to make his way up the stairwell into the B site, and Travis, well, he never had any health to start with. Norot takes full advantage for his 2nd of the round. And as you said, Dean, that was the breaking round for 1 win. You know, they only had 1,400 loss bonus coming in. They lost a lot of bodies in the previous round up against the half buy of 9, so this one's going to look very ugly. Handful of upgraded pistols, you've got to imagine nothing much more than that. So the doorway is open for 9. Good rifles across the board for the CT side. And yeah, here comes the investment. Handful of techs, deagles, a little bit of utility to try and enable some kind of a faster play, you have to imagine. And hope that Forrester and Deco, we've seen it once before from them on the Tech 9s, pulling off a little bit of a miracle. Hope that maybe that can happen again. Key smokes out the molly, wants to press the issue, wants to deny them this ramp control, gets an early kill, but that leaves him vulnerable, needs the support now as through the smoke he finds the spray down onto a second. These rifles need to be a little careful. The techs can do a lot of heavy lifting, but plenty of bodies there to swing in and just make sure they overwhelm those pistols before they can get too much damage done. Nicely worked by the CT side. And I mean, as much as it's felt like one-way traffic at moments, 9 are hanging on in there, Dean.
Yeah, one thing I want to note is Nora, it looks like he's playing with confidence, which can be very difficult when you're stepping in as a coach and you're looking at the opposing team and saying, wow, these guys, they do this daily. I'm normally just chilling in that coach slot, but he's willing to take peeks. I'm sure it backfired a little bit, for example, on that round over towards B, but you don't want them playing super cautious. So the fact that Nora looks comfortable here in his own skin, it is a good thing. We'll see if that keeps up or not as we have a 5-5 scoreline. neck and neck. Might remain this way up till the end of the half, potentially, although the loser of this round won't have a lot to fund the final round. There's a lot on the line right now, and a dink there with the AK. I believe actually through one of his teammates, as eventually a second kill is going to be taken. It was a team assist actually from Nickelback, as OneWin have just been completely dismantled on the ramp. Boomich crept around in through the alley somehow, and they do know they have a player trapped on sandbag, so maybe there is still some hope.
There's kills to be had here, and Travis has got it. Still a 2-on-3, but a much more workable position than the 5-on-3 they found themselves in. CT side not quite aware what's going on here either. Got to play a little more passively. Goofy's worked his way into a fantastic position down the ladder. He holds the key to any kind of a rotation off towards this B site for now, and Boomlich is starting to think about that possibility. Knows it's likely somebody is holding this somewhere, but just not quite able to adjust the spray in time to deal with Goofy. That's now bombed down. And with 40 seconds left, CT side could reasonably look to escape down the ladder, and that's exactly what they're doing. It does buy a little bit of time, though, for Travis, and if he's not heard here, he's going to have a very swift backstab onto pretty much the entirety of this CT side. 30 seconds left on the clock to try and knit together a little bit of magic. Goes silent, goes quiet, tries to buy himself a little bit of space. He's got to get down this ladder first of all, and that is not going to be an easy feat. Hades is watching for the possibility, and the Tech-9 spam will connect. 9 regain the lead at 6-5, and with a rough force to come through, they could be in a very solid position at the end of this half.
Yeah, after a rough start as well, so they've definitely turned things around.
For what it's worth as well, obviously HLTV doesn't split the stats by game, which always makes it a little bit more difficult to draw anything from it, but both of these teams are T-sided. OneWin more so than 9 in their history of Vertigo, so the fact that 9 are hanging on in there on the CT side, and well, they've guaranteed themselves at least equal pegging at the half is good. Boomich, though, is looking to make sure it doesn't get any better for them. Just drive by onto the coach. That Tech-9, the most frustrating thing in the world at times, and it nets OneWin the man advantage to start this round off. You can see the response wanted and landed by Key. Takes the dink on the chin and deals with Forrester. Buys the 4-on-4, but again, Goofy perhaps just a little bit overextended, leaves himself vulnerable and leaves Kylar in what surely has to be an impossible position here. He's being clutched out from 2 angles at once, somehow gets a kill on each, and buys his team a much-needed lifeline here. Hades goes one better, deals with Boomich, and buys the 2-on-1 deco. A lot has been said about this youngster. A lot has been said about his potential. Can he pull it off now? Key has actually swapped to the USP to give the full HP Hades the best possible chance on this M4A4, and Key is going to lead the charge. That pistol just looking to flush out the bodies, and Hades gets his kill. 7-5 as we head into the halftime. 9, a fantastic CT side on Vertigo as we go to the break. Well, 9 have laid the foundation here. 7-5 up as they head to their preferred T side. A huge opportunity to find the upset up against OneWin, and they are charging up the A ramp to take early contact. CT flashes, however, are good, and Boomich is doing better. 2 quick kills. Nickel back in with a third. And this pistol, well, it's fallen apart just seconds in. For Goofy and Hades, it just turns to absolute carnage. Hades able to get at least a 1-for-1, but Goofy's now out in no man's land up against the full force of OneWin. There is nothing he can do, and that is just the start OneWin needed.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of more one-sided pistol rounds. The second ones, anyway, usually. Made that one look easy. The Glocks, I mean, were they were a little bit spread out, I guess, on their way up ramp there. It's easy kills. Everyone on OneWin was able to just step back and keep those advantages, and it was 9 just under pressure the whole time. They do want to go straight in for the buy, though, despite not finding a bomb plant. But if took the one eco, came out with some rifles and limited utility, instead they want to press the issue here and now, believing that they can perhaps steal it away. And I mean, 3 Mac 10s, a Scout and a Tech 9, it's not terrible. We did see OneWin find success with less in their previous half on that T side.
It's scary. It's scary.
They've got heavy
There's a lot of
rifles
potential here.
Not a lot of utility.
Yeah, it's understandable. OneWin aware of the threat of a second round force buy from the T side. They've got to be careful here as the Mac 10s look to charge on in. It's an early 1-for-1. Nickelback does manage to retreat to the relative safety of sight, though. And now it starts to splinter and get a little bit awkward. The crossfire's established. Boomage and Nickelback combine well. Buy themselves a 2-on-3. Hades still stuck on that scout. Goofy at least has managed to salvage himself an M4A1, but he needs some quick kills here, and he's finding them as well. Nickelback goes down into the 2-on-2. Both CT players playing this very cautiously from the elevators. Just hoping that those smokes will fade away and buy themselves a little bit of space. They're also not necessarily convinced that this is going to be the A hit at the end of the day. There is still options for 9. Hades has managed to recover himself a Tech as a secondary, which is a very promising pistol in a situation like this. And oh, Boomage. This could be dangerous. He's opted to go very proactively into it. Hades finds the 1-for-1. That's a rifle recovered. 25 seconds on the clock. What's the decision to be made? He wants to go to B. CT side, you can see Travis just playing for the sound cues. We'll hear it as he starts to make his approach in. Hades knows that bomb plant would be absolutely everything for the T-side economy, and Travis is playing this so smart, so quiet, so gentle, giving Hades nothing. 8 seconds left. He's got to try and fake that bomb out, and it's not going to land. Travis gets his man, saves OneWin from what could have been a catastrophic round loss, level things out at 7 apiece, and we've really got a game on our hands now, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, didn't even have time to get his gun back out there, unfortunately, after tapping the bomb. Just, as you said, didn't really have the time to get that one done. But, I mean, considering what they went into the round with, they can be happy that they brought it so close. Because, again, it was heavy on the rifles for OneWin. I think they had one SMG maybe in play. Everyone else was on those M4s. So the heavy reinvestment once again comes in. And, I mean, this time, sure, there's not a lot to do to damage, but if they can even get 2, maybe 3 kills with these pistols, it would be worthwhile. It'd give them a chance to still spring back to life as soon as they get the guns out in the next round. So
that's got to be the idea. 3 Deagles, you've got to be looking for picks.
Yeah. Heavy towards veto in the early stages.
Yeah, not necessarily where you'd expect to see Deagles, and they're getting picked off early. Travis and Boomage with a headshot apiece. Not the best of starts, and, well, it's going from bad to worse here. The MP9 fancies a bit of a farm, and there's just nothing these pistols can do. The aggression works out nicely for OneWin. It's a flawless round, which is just what the doctor ordered. Gets their finances back in order, gives them the lead in this map. And as 9 get the rifles out, you've got to imagine maybe there's a bit of a rethink here. They've had a couple of ideas. Those Mac 10s very nearly worked for them. What do you do when the full rifles are in play for the very first time?
Question. 2 MP9s still for OneWin. We might see something a bit more aggressive, perhaps down towards the bottom of that A ramp even, and well, that looks like it could be something they're definitely considering with Nickelback in the front of this pack. Utility though already put down. There's a player pushed up on the ramp, so I was going to say they can't really afford to get too aggressive. But Forrester tries to peek. Emphasis on tries as he gets cut down.
I don't think he was necessarily aware of that gap in the side of the smoke.
Yeah.
Looked like he wanted to swing, pre-fire down the ramp a bit and then fall off, and instead he just goes right into a gap that Key is ready and waiting for.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really
big
tell
opening
from that
kill.
angle until you've already committed to it, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's a big kill to find, though. Man advantage now for the T side to try and leverage. Gaps in the defense for them to try and find. And, well, Travis is having none of it. It's really shown up in this second map so far. Only a 1-for-1, though, as Norok continues to just boost his playing credentials here. He's doing a fantastic job. Keeps his team in it 4-on-3. Bomb yet to commit. They're not sure necessarily which site they want to give this a go with. They're looking like now they are decided on this B split. Plenty of presence for it, but just 35 seconds left on the clock, and the clock has been issues for them before. CT side with plenty of presence in towards this B site as well. They've got Boomich and Nickelback ready and waiting to receive this hit. And Boomich spotted, but information gathered. He'll back away as the HE rings out. 20 seconds on the clock now. This bomb has got to start making its way up to B imminently, and they've got to deal with this push, but it's Deco instead with a late backstab for 2, and that information is just too late propagating through 9. They buy so much time lurking around the bottom of the ramp that Deco pushes on in for the backstab, ruins the hopes of 9, and that may well sink them here on Vertigo.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit out of hand, to say the least. It looks like they want to buy up into this, or at least Key wants to go for the hero rifle. They have full loss bonus, so he'll still have enough money to get his investment in the next round as well. But yeah, 1 hero AK, some pistols, and a chance for 1 win to get themselves onto double digits here already. Positive is, I guess, that CT economy, while it's starting to build up, hasn't really done so yet. So if 9 can potentially again knock them down a peg here, then they might have a shot at getting the break with just a round win, as Forrester already picks up that opening kill. Bit of nade damage on the Key as well, which is not going to make things any easier for him.
They need some damage here, 9. They need at least a few kills, especially out of this hero AK, and Key is providing. Adjusts beautifully after the initial pick to nab a second, and he's looking for more. He's got Boomich. 3 kills out of that hero AK down towards the ramp, and Travis is desperately isolated over on B as a result. Kyler are able to deal with that, and suddenly this round looks more than damage worthy. It looks viable. Deco on the Crocodile, last man up. A little bit of individual heroics from Key, who has really stepped up in this second map, and it's going to be 9 with an 8th. As you said, starting to look down those finances. I mean, they should be able to get this buy together here, 1 win. Deco's got a drop in him. Nickelback probably the same, but they are starting to struggle, and 9 should be able to fathom a way back into this one now. Another miracle round pulled out of their back pocket when the going gets tough. It seems to be their specialty at the moment.
Yeah, I would like to see them stabilize on the gun rounds as well, where it seems like 1 win do tend to be looking a little bit better though. Key, though, as you said, came alive there out of nowhere. I mean, he hasn't necessarily been one of the players we've been looking towards. No one's had a bad game by any means, so I don't want to call anyone out, but I don't think he's popped off in too many situations and taken a double or a triple kill like that. So if he can keep up form like that, if you have Nora still playing decently, if you have Kylar and Hades performing, then yeah, there definitely is the chance for 9 to get themselves back into this, but there's a lot still riding on this gun round here and now, with the full investment in again from 1 win. Main weakness, I guess, being that shotgun, which is terrible. Lots of positions you can use it here on this map. Ooh, not a great start though.
Hades with an early pick, and Key is just up in the pace here a second, almost immediately onto Forrester. Deco knows he has to stabilize this situation and manages to get at least the 1. Norok, though, able to react onto the low HP player and keeps his team in the ascendancy. 1 win to try and stitch together a 2-on-4 situation here. I mean, Travis up close and personal, it's not the worst place in the world for this shotgun to be. Problem is, Boomich is nowhere near at the moment. He's on a very long flanking mission. And Goofy's on one of his own out in mid, so this starts to get very sketchy, and you've got to imagine, realistically, this CT side are looking to save. Goofy not aware whatsoever that Boomich is actually behind him and has been this whole time, so should go down. Oh, the timing is ugly, and it gets Goofy a little bit of an opening. I mean, it's only the XM that's lost, but Goofy gets another big kill. Boomich's position in a lot of jeopardy here as well. Hades does need to be a little cautious. Don't want to be losing that AWP to a late rifle, and well, Boomich has managed to thread the needle here, so he may well do so or not. Hades is having none of it. We level out at 9 apiece, and what a way to find it, charging up that ramp. Hades on the AWP with an early pick. Key continuing to find impact. The force buy just falls apart for 1win, and they've got what surely has to be a full eco to follow it.
Yeah, I mean, again, the momentum just manages to swing back in favor of 9.
It's carnage, man. Absolute carnage.
Yeah, they've got 5-7 and a deagle on that CT side alongside a couple of nades. If 1win somehow managed to get away with anything in this round, more than just a couple of kills, then that would be a big disappointment for 9. They've only really begun to stabilize. That economy's okay now, sure, but if they can take this round with 5 players alive, as ideally they should be able to, with so little investment for 1win, then they're going to be in a prime position to set themselves up for potentially towards the rest of the half almost. So, yeah, 1win. They do desperately need to do some damage here. Molly declared that close corner. No one in there. Instead, it is a bit of a B stack, sure, but as you can see, they're all back towards that bomb site itself. 3 pistols to deal with. The nade coming through. Kylar just about drops down. And I think at this point should be happy enough with that 1 kill. They've still got a ton of time on the clock.
Yeah, no need to overcommit to this. I mean, they are still giving it a good prod and a poke here, including Hades on that AWP, but as they continue to find impact, should just be a matter of continuing to thin those numbers further, not giving away too much to these USPs. And, well, it does get a little awkward. Maybe the T side want to start reconsidering the plans and bail out onto A now instead. Need to be a little conscious of that clock. As you said, they had plenty of time a little while back, but now 45 seconds left. Still a deagle out on A. I think they're hoping that just showing that little bit of presence will start to draw the rotations. Not to be, though, and there is still presence out here. 2 pistols ready and waiting for this hit to come through. Good damage done by both of them, but Kylar and Kia having none of it. Down to 2 HP. Kylar finds his man, and then Key with a nice swift headshot gets his. That'll be double digits on the board for 9. The half buy yields no results for 1win. And I mean, this has got to be a huge confidence booster for 9. You know, you absolutely demolish 1win on their map pick. You go to a map that is tough for you at the moment. It's not a map you're finding a lot of success on as of late, and it's a map that 1win are feeling very confident on. 7 map win streak, let's not forget, for them on Vertigo. And you are scrapping it right down to the last, and I think scrapping it is exactly the right word, because it has been an absolute mess, this one. Some games of CS, you get a nice ebb and a flow and an idea of the timings and pace and control going back and forth. This one has just been a bar fight, and it continues to be, as Nickelback able to get 1 on the exit, but he's quickly traded down. They won't mind that at all. And this could be the critical round now, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, every round over these past few especially has been incredibly critical, but this could be potentially the last good round for 1win. They lose this, they will not have a lot going into the next one, and would probably even be forced onto an eco to play for the overtime. So, as you said, it's basically do or die here for 1win. What do they have in mind? Smoke down towards the bottom of ramp. They might try the aggression, but it has been denied already a couple of times. This time not leaving the opening for that op to be able to pick up any early openings. Smokes are down, and well, the rifles do still want to press the issue from 9. Key playing in
just got 1 though.
Smokes, yeah, I believe back towards B, it seems, with that aggression coming through. They've actually got 2 players who went aggressive, found out that there's no one else hanging around these stairs, so they have a bit of info that it's likely favoured around A, and potentially mid, which we can see there is a little bit of probing going on from Hades as well.
MP9 goes down to low HP, but they won't mind that. SMG getting even an initial pick is huge, and you can see Boomich has set himself up now to maintain that control. On a deep old angle, Travis potentially looking to come and support, and this is a very tough angle to clear. Travis puts himself on an even nastier one, and this is going to be very tough. Boomich looking to bait him in, but Goofy's got the better of the first. Boomich's spray a little awkward, and Norok takes full advantage. Somehow, 9 are looking to drag this one back. Molotov goes in. Hades is ready for this exact rotation and gets his mark. Deco goes down. Forrester is alone on that B site, but meanwhile, he's lost his teammates on A. Forrester gets 1. But with the A bomb site wide open for the taking, that's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Goofy was already hightailing it out. They know exactly where to look for the last man. Bomb will go down. And realistically, as you said, Dean, this is probably an eco half buy to follow to try and play for OT. So saving that rifle becomes a higher priority. Forrester starts to tuck himself away, and 9 will have their 11th round.
Forrester left desperately wondering what has happened. He was the man who gave them chances early in this game as well. He clinched out a couple of rounds for them that were vital for them to even, as we know in that first half, get themselves into the game. Played well, but these last few rounds have just been, unfortunately, too much to handle. No weapons going to be saved either. Key eventually getting that pick. 11-9. One win, as I had mentioned, now are likely looking at the eco to play for an overtime. They can get a few pistols, some body armor and such, maybe, since they do have full loss bonus, but they don't have what they need for the full investment. So it's likely 3 in a row needed for the OT. No, maybe not. They want to go for it. M4 body armor and boomage. It could be just the one hero rifle, but not too sure.
I mean, there's 3,400 loss bonus. So even if he heroes it here, he can still get an SMG into the next. Still arguably get a FAMAS and a little bit extra. So understandable. Rest of the teammates a little more conservative in their approach. Problem is, Goofy, even full blind, has managed to deal with Nickelback early. Initial aggression from one of those pistols nullified, and now it's about Boomage on that hero rifle. How much can he realistically get as Forrester is being pressed off the B site all the while? That hero rifle still looking to push down the A ramp. Well, now 9 know what's coming. They know they've got a flank coming in behind them. They know they've got to get into this B bomb site fast, and fast is exactly what they manage. Travis able to trade at least for one, but it's quickly taken apart. 2 on 3, CT side with a decision to make. Boomich hero rifled into this round. He could do with holding on for it or winning the round instead. Finds the late lurk of Goofy, and that may well tempt them into this one. They've got 2 rifles. Deco has managed to recover. Hades playing close because he's still suspecting a flank, but it's not going to come through. Boomich reads the position of the first. Now Deco looking for the swing, looking for the trade. Hades is isolated, but he finds his man, finds his shot, and finds 12. 3 opportunities now for 9 to put this to bed, 2-0, and they are looking on a hot streak of form.
Yeah, I mean, as I had mentioned before this, I think one win had won their last like 16 best of 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they lost the best of 1 before those 7, and then they won 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and only in 2 or 3 of those games had they even lost a map. So the fact that 9, with their coach as a stand-in, have come in and made this look as great as they have. I didn't want to say easy because there's been challenges definitely throughout both maps, but yeah, they have looked to be in the driver's seat the majority of the time. An opening kill again on Boomich. Yeah, he's been the top fragger there for one win as well. Not a good player to be losing early on.
Key looking to be cheeky around the edge of the smokes has started to get some support into it as well. They do pop the smoke with the HE though, and that leaves players lining up. Forrester gets Nora. There's more where that came from though, and they think they've realised that they've got Key stuck into this corner now. Molotov goes in to flush him out. Should be a relatively free kill, and indeed it is. The Flames getting it. Travis finds one more, and this round's starting to fall apart. 1 win. They were never going to go quietly, and they are not looking to here. Deco deals with Hades, and for Goofy, well, the initial pick is all they've managed to find on Kylo. He's left to try and salvage something out of this round. 16 HP. I mean, they've got good money to buy into the next, so the more he can take away from this CT side, the better. Gets his man. Nickelback goes down. You look across that T-side economy. Hades on 12k, Goofy on 10. This is before the loss bonuses come in, so they're going to keep on buying. It's just a matter of how much damage can you do to the next round buy for this CT side. 2 kills will be all they wrote. 10 double digits for 1 win. And an opportunity to keep on fighting here. The buy will be good for them. The drops can happen. 2 more bites at it for 9 before OT beckons.
We do another crazy overtime game as we got yesterday. We ended like 22-20 in the end, was it?
It feels like it's entirely possible here because this has just been about individuals. There really hasn't been anything particularly tactical about this Vertigo. It's been fast and loose. Feels like it could go either way. This time Goofy has been run boosted round the angle, and Hades is just going to pick a man early. Over the top of the smoke, he gets Forrester on the A ramp. Man advantage for the second round on the trot for this T side. Let's see if they can hold on to it on this one.
Yeah, was going to say, even if Nine lost this round, they'd still have the economy to put up a fight in the next one, but with an opening kill already going their way, the pressure is definitely mounted on one win. Hades is gifted another frag. Nickelback does not want to stick around as he hears a couple of warning shots coming his direction as well. It's Hades, though, who keeps on pushing towards the alley. I think Nickelback's going to expect this. Never mind, Boomich is already watching it, and Nade in towards the scaffolding as well. Doesn't quite land on Nora, actually.
Kylar is all the way up mid. He's going to get a freebie. Looks for two. Nails it. It's Travis just unaware that was even a possibility. B-bomb site is wide open for the taking here, and they're starting to realize it now. Kylar drops the utility to keep Nickelback so far isolated from this fight. Bomb will make its transition. 1v4 to contend with. He's not been quiet about it either. Position is known at this point. This will take a miracle. As that bomb slowly but surely ticks away, surely spells the demise of one win in this best of three. Flawless so far in Group D, but 9, second in the group, are looking to be too much of an opposition. Nickelback gets one. It's the coach who goes down. His team are there for him. However, it's 13-10. It's a clean 2-0 from 9. I mean, I don't think in any reality we were expecting that to be a possibility, especially considering the changes that have gone on today. But they just played fast, they played loose, and they played to their individual strengths, and it worked out brilliantly.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. Then it looked like just around the half point that one win had taken kind of control. It seemed like they were the better of the two teams. They seemed a bit more consistent. They were getting these crazy rounds where they kept on getting damage, at least with the weaker weapons and all. And we're stealing away rounds that should never have been theirs. And then suddenly 9 come back to life towards the end as well. I'm not too sure, honestly, how that played out. It seemed like the confidence was maybe knocked in the early stages of Vertigo, but they managed to find their footing again. And I think the fact that they didn't have Minio could have maybe been something that they were like, okay, yeah, sure, this isn't going too great, but we don't have our in-game leader. We got rid of him today. We're playing with our coach. Let's just calm down, guys, and try and do our best. And it seemed like with that at the end, they were just able to put it together and just about inch their way across the finish line.
Yeah, that's the 9 of old. That's the 9 we expected to see in previous iterations, not the 9 that have had struggles with form of late, right? Their individuals were there. Hades popped off. Kylar popped off. Key popped off as well. Quite frankly, I'm going to give the shout out to Nora. I think he's player of the game there because he has had an incredibly solid series for a coach stepping into a new game on limited notice. That was very, very impressive stuff. And at the end of the day, that is what stitches it together for 9, because if you're constantly playing 4v5s, it's going to be impossible to get it done. But everyone shows up for one win. I think the gaps, they were just slow on Nuke. I think that's all there is to it. They were just slow to start, never really got their foot in the door. We saw more from them on Vertigo, but at the end of the day, 9 play that map so damn much that they're going to be comfortable on it, even if they're struggling, even if things aren't going right, even if they're missing their in-game leader and they got the coach playing instead. So 9 get it. They, I think, draw up with one win now, 4-1 at the top of the group. So they're going to be going through in the high bracket. Congratulations to them. Commiserations to one win, but of course still going through in that high bracket. So not the end of the world by any means. And it's a nice short one for us tonight, Dean. A very swift 2-0 for 9. So from myself and Dean, thank you very, very much for watching, guys, and good night.